Hello fight fans, you're on the Genial MMA channel, and in this video, we'll talk about how the matchmakers of the organization cannot find an opponent for Khamzat Chimaev, and the third-ranked welterweight is ready to steal the chance for the middleweight title from the Brazilian Alex Pereira, and he challenged Brazilian. Pereira responded to the challenge of Khamzat Chimaev. After the victory at the UFC 276, Brazilian called out Israel Adesanya. He is sure that he will beat Adesanya because Alex has an advantage that other contenders do not have, because he is not afraid of Adesanya. He has already defeated him 2 times, and he is sure that he will beat him a 3rd time too, while others like Cannonier or Romero are too afraid to even approach the champion. Kamaru Usman will be able to move up a weight class. The Nigerian doesn't want to fight in the middleweight division over compatriot Adesanya. And to that end, former UFC light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz is ready to share the Octagon with Kamaru Usman if the current welterweight title holder does decide to move up to his division. So, watch this video to the end. Khamzat Chimaev is ready to steal the chance for a middleweight title from the Brazilian Alex Pereira. I want to fight this guy. Dana White, UFC, let's do it, the Chechen fighter wrote on social networks to Dana White. But Pereira is not going to risk his title chance in the confrontation with the Chechen welterweight. I prefer to keep the same attitude as always, to see those who are right in front of me and not those who are ahead, the Brazilian said in an interview with Helen Ye, answering a question about Chimaev's call. The same thing happened before the fight against Sean Strickland. People were talking about Israel Adesanya, and I told them I don't think about it at the moment. Right now, my only concern is fighting Adesanya for the title, and then after that, we'll think about the rest. After the victory at UFC 276, Brazilian Alex Pereira called out Israel Adesanya. He told Joe Rogan, "Many people talk about my 2 victories over Israel Adesanya and point out they were in kickboxing. Now, I am ready to defeat him here. I think I deserve it." So far, only one thing is clear: the UFC plan has come true. The promotion and the fans will make it a middleweight super fight. Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya will fight in the trilogy, and it is possible that Izzy will fight as an underdog for the first time in his UFC career. Alex is a world-class kickboxer with 2 glory titles in the middle and light heavyweight divisions. However, what's most important is that Pereira faced Adesanya twice before in a similar Chinese organization called Glory of Heroes, both times winning. The pair first fought in April 2016. Then the fight lasted all 3 rounds, in which Pereira acted as a first number, and he won by unanimous decision. The rematch occurred a year later. Izzy appeared more confident in the 2nd bout, but at the start of the 3rd round, Pereira connected a tight hook to Adesanya's chin, knocking him unconscious. Israel could not get up, and Alex also mocked the lying opponent. He shouted something to him and made obscene gestures. So, I think this fight has good history. Adesanya must return the debt. Therefore, the Brazilian is more than profitable for the UFC as an opponent for Adesanya. I think Izzy hasn't had such interesting and dangerous opponents for a long time. In addition to his bright general background in kickboxing, Alex has another advantage that other contenders do not have. He is not afraid of Adesanya. While others like Cannonier or Romero are afraid to approach the champion, Pereira will break the distance himself and hit the head a couple of times. Dana White must be worried about the fact that Israel's fights are often deemed uninteresting, and spectators leave their seats. Therefore, Brazilian's victory over Izzy will only benefit the UFC. It's clear that in the eyes of the fans and Dana White, Adesanya has exhausted his credibility, and therefore the time has come to remove Izzy from the throne. What do you think Alex Pereira could do to it? Adesanya's defeat is beneficial to the UFC, not only because the promotion will get a spectacular champion. If Pereira wins, Kamaru Usman, the best fighter in the organization at the moment, will be able to move up in weight. The Nigerian doesn't want to fight in the middleweight division over compatriot Adesanya, but getting back at Alex for Izzy is an option. If Pereira wins, new opportunities will open up for Israel as well. He will be able to move up in weight and compete with light heavyweights. The fights of the Nigerian against Izzy or Alexander Rakic will definitely interest the fans, or maybe even Jan Blachowicz. Yes, Adesanya lost to Blachowicz, but why not try again? Former UFC light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz is ready to share the Octagon with Kamaru Usman if the current UFC welterweight title holder does decide to move up to his division. You say people call you the Nigerian nightmare, the monster. It is good because I hunt monsters. It doesn't matter how terrible they are, the Polish fighter wrote on social media, posting a photo of the confrontation with a Nigerian face-to-face. Kamaru Usman, who is due to defend his title against Leon Edwards in less than 2 months, could have a super fight in the light heavyweight category after a bout with the Briton. I'm still thinking about jumping the middle division and taking the light heavyweight title, the Nigerian told the press conference in Las Vegas. I just think I can beat some of these guys. There are some real killers in this division and I definitely respect that. But I think I can deal with the guys who are at the top right now. So I'm seriously thinking about proving that I really am the best fighter in the world, regardless of weight. Recall that the title fight between Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards will be the main event of the UFC 278 tournament, which will be held on August 20th in Salt Lake City. And the UFC light heavyweight title is held by Izzy, who took the championship belt from Glover Teixeira 3 weeks ago. I think he jumped too high. However, now Usman is more likely than it would have been before, because the struggle of the Prochazka still raises questions. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget, like and subscribe to our channel because it really helps us grow.